It's all at the back. Little rat tails. It's gotta be beautiful. Love it. Love to hear it. Well, we're diving on into Ascent, the final map of this series. We had a great success for Loud to start things out, but now they've got to pick themselves back up after a 13-3 devastating loss on their map pick. Now it's time to step back up.
This is a map they've played an awful lot. It's one that they're dominant on, and for Liquid, it's been incredibly close. Like, both OT wins so far in this tournament, but we've learned that that doesn't mean a lot when you're facing off against this squad. Link is the switch after the bait has already been made. They kind of expect him to be in this corner. I feel like Loud are the sort of team that would check this, though. I don't think they would leave this without anybody looking in that corner. In fact, Aspas is still a little wary of it. If they leave Link alone, he's going to get so many kills here.
They're checking it. For the simple reason that they think maybe he could have put... They're not checking it! Oh, no! I thought with the flash where it was, maybe it was a right click, they'd go in.
Bala said that Sassy always wins pistol clutches. So that means there's still hope in this 2 versus 5. The smoke going down doesn't leave them in a great spot. They're going to have to try and fall back from this position. And because the aggression is that, well, surprisingly, Link hasn't moved. He didn't really take any damage, so he's just stayed in that position, managing to kill them all out. Yumpy selling the perfect bait as the Jet, and, well, now they have to try and clear everything in 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
That is just not the way you want to start this out. Outplayed with 4 kills for Link. He's close to the ace and not going to find it this time. You know what, though? I think he's done enough. Because it's, you know, we've already gotten rid of Sassy, the clutch player with pistols. 10 seconds on the clock. Pancada's making a damn good attempt at it, though, trying to bait out a player on site. Eventually, he'll have to plant. He gets the headshot.
Oh, the shock dart doesn't hit. He's going to have to push him, and he doesn't quite manage to do it. Maybe Bala meant Pancada when he said Sassy, because that was a ridiculously good attempt. I don't think many people would have predicted that both Omens are going to get 4 kills in the pistol round, but
14 seconds left, 1v5, and he walks out like that. That's absolutely, well, he doesn't walk out.
He's almost got
shot
from the shadows.
Oh yeah, huge ult built up. This was just disgusting. I mean, the bait play from the start, you could see that it sold it, but Aspas actually stopped peeking it for, I would say, like 4 seconds. And I thought that they were setting up the flash because they'd given up control, that maybe they thought he'd gone confident and pushed out. But I guess with Yumpy already using up his dash and putting a cloudburst down, he sold it so well.
It was some of the best acting we've seen this year, and it did actually also result in someone getting slapped.
That it did, Tom. That it did. Right, well. It's the second round here. Loud of, got a few pistols. see what they can do. I didn't see that one coming, you know, Tom? Checks left, does he?
Yeah, he's gonna check that. Take a little bit of damage through the smoke, but again, they're just locked back. I feel like there's something else that just Link is so irritating with. He just gets these smokes in position. Pancada, though, is still just going strong with the pistols. Kakuka on point with that one. Maybe they don't need to buy up those rifles with how solid they're doing in these sort of rounds. But again, another smoke falls. It's going to buy a fair bit of time for Liquid to just rotate in. They have this crossfire. Link even locking them in on the flank as well. So any escape is futile. There's nowhere they can go at this point.
Time to move on into this site. They're going to be spotted on the way. Rotations from Liquid already here, as we said, and Marshall's going to be picking off a couple as they come on through. Nicely done, Team Liquid, 2-0. Only 1 player goes down. And I think you can be pretty happy with that result. 2 Marshalls coming into this round will be interesting, though.
Yeah, I guess when you have... That's the thing. In this map, Liquid love to run a double op setup, so running a double Marshall setup is not necessarily the most surprising thing in the world. It's just how they're actually going to utilize them in this sort of round. Like how they're going to aggress, how they're going to sort of take that control away. For the remaining players, not going to be a massive amount going into the round. Scream going to stick to a pistol, but he's had some incredible pistol rounds so far in this match. Like winning them on Icebox with the Jet updraft over the top, managing to find, I think it was a couple of kills to then get himself a Bladestorm. So you can't really count him out, and I think it's going to be super important for Loud to actually take this round because they got boomed in the last map. You've now had that in the pistol. Okay, a little bit of confidence build for Pancada with how he managed to almost clutch that one. In fact, he's the only one with a kill. I've just noticed that. 5-0-0-0-0. It's not great on the scoreboard, but at least he's going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, after the first 2 rounds, though, obviously you can shake those things off as the rest of the players. You're going to be coming in with rifles. Now, just to let you guys know, this tech pause, just a little bit of an issue. I think it's Loud's coach, just resetting up his monitor.
Yeah, he's a little bit quiet at the moment. But did you see that one coming?
No.
You look a bit more angry about
this one. This one didn't have the same effect on me, Tom. Didn't release any dopamine.
I could see the rage in your eyes.
Yeah, it did the opposite. You've all that good work you did earlier on. It's gone now. It's gone. It's reset.
Yeah, you got to reset the momentum of a joke. I can't be coasting off of previous jokes.
I see. You like to make it difficult for yourself.
Yeah. I like a challenge.
Well, there's certainly a challenge here for Team Liquid coming into the full buy round. I really do want to see how they use these marshals, because to me, like, if you're going to fight for mid aggressively, I can see that. You're going to go in the extremities and try to push up. But I'm looking at the minimap and where players tended towards, and you've got one player either side, so it looks like maybe holding the extremities, letting them push through. And with the success rate when it comes to especially Nevera's marshals, I mean, he was unbelievable earlier.
I feel like you can say with both. Like, Yumpy's Marshall is filth, especially on this map. Like, I'm more so looking at the way he plays through, like, smokes. Like, on the attacker side especially, we've seen rounds just won by him just shooting straight through a smoke and connecting people, because it seems like out of everybody using this gun, he's very good at just tracking where someone's gone. So it's like, okay, I've taken a shot here, they've run behind a smoke, I'm just going to pre-fire into this wall. And he'll just get the tag, like, 9 times out of 10, which is an absolutely ludicrous thing to be able to do. So there still has to be fear in these sort of rounds for Loud. And again, like, I think if Liquid get off to a flying start, they win this round, I'm really worried for them. Not because they're bad at this map, not because I think that some of the more experienced players won't be able to reset, but we saw how hard Les got boomed in the last map. We saw that Aspas had his few moments, but a lot of the time he was losing his teammates as he was going into the site.
Yeah.
Those are young players playing their first LAN event, in Valorant at least. So if they just get wrecked in one map and then the beginning of this game they get wrecked as well, on the other side, this is a team that can steamroll anyone.
Yes.
And I mean anyone. Like, Liquid are probably the greatest upset team in all of Valorant. Like, when they are firing, they have the highest firepower, I think, of any team in the world. And they built that intentionally.
Yeah.
So the one thing we criticize them for is they don't have an in-game leader, because they have the best firepower of any team. They just don't have the space to do it. So give them a sixth man who can talk, they'll be unstoppable. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I guess that's technically Sliggy, but we have to limit him, otherwise it would be unfair.
Exactly. You know, one other thing I do consider in this situation, you've seen the shots of the stage there, and the players are in their prac rooms back in the hotel, obviously, with the quarantine conditions, and I would say Brazilian LAN presence is one of the strongest things. You
can just say
in
South
the
America
world.
at this
South
point.
America, absolutely.
Jesus, like that was the way. Like that was the way at Champions. At least I feel like they managed to just get past anyone. Like, they would climb over a hurdle that you just seemingly didn't even see was there, because they would have screams that you could be wearing soundproof headsets from miles away, and you're like, yep, no, that was Kesnet. I knew that was him. And it has been the same with the Brazilians, like Jandy as well. When we were watching an IP, when they were winning a round, he is off of his chair. And that's the thing, like, I think that if they could, again, if they win a few rounds, they get a few big clutches. Like, Pancata have won that round, I would almost say that this is firmly in their favor, but he didn't. So it makes it that little bit more difficult. You
know, I found it funny when we were talking to Fnatic the other day about Zeta, just to bring it to the exact opposite, the contrast between them. You know, Hyber and stuff were saying, like, yeah, our plan was to get in there, be loud, get in their faces, you know, really make some noise. And he's like, but we won a round at one point. He was like, told me whatever clutch it was, and they all went, you know, woo, yeah. And then he said, like, Zeta wooed back. They cheered for them. They were like, hey, you won the round. Good job, guys.
Remember when Ascent won Champions and they were losing the map and they started doing the claps?
Yeah, we will rock you. Yeah. But
they,
the thing,
they
like,
then went on to lose that map, though, which made it even funnier.
I'll say, like, when you're against a team like the South American teams and they're getting loud, they get in your head in a way that, you know, for some players lights a fire under them. It's like, all right, let's beat these guys. You know, let's show them. With Zeta, the thing I've heard is it's just so hard to want to beat them. They're just such nice guys. You're like, I don't want to be mean to you now. I don't want to say, like, hey, you suck. You know, I'm like, hey, nice shot, bro. Good job.
I don't know. Maybe if they play against Buzz, because Buzz seems to be
he's got
a little bit mouthy.
Voice.
He's got a mouth on him. But yeah, it's very enjoyable. And that's the thing. I feel like that's always one of the worries in esports. Trash talk stays on the stage. We all know that. Like, that's just the team's having a bit of fun. And whenever it leaves, that's when it becomes a little bit more of a problem. But it's been really enjoyable at this event. Like, everybody going back and forth, as you said, like Zeta almost taking it in their stride and being able to use it to fuel them to come back into games. I think we've had so many surprises so far. This game, though, is one of those interesting ones where I don't think I would be shocked with either team winning. Like, I think coming into the event, Liquid looked rough, but they've always been a team that, especially when they go back to the basics, they go back to the things that they're good at, they're very, very good. And obviously Loud, as I said, they've been basically unstoppable in Brazil. So if either of these teams were to win this final map, I don't think there's anything too much to be surprised about. I think going into some of the other games tomorrow, like, I think DRX versus PaperX is actually something that's going to be really interesting, because realistically, DRX should be fairly decent favorites going into that one. I think, again, they're a team that scrimmed a lot against each other in the past, and DRX are a very, very prep-heavy team. I will say, though, PaperX are very exciting. So I'm hoping there's going to be something interesting there. And we've had quite a few upsets so far in this tournament.
Quite a few. I mean, that's an understatement of the year, Tom. I haven't seen a single pick'em with more than like 3 green dots on it. It's been...
Well, there was one guy who had all of it correct.
No. He's made 10 accounts. It's the only one. I refuse...
He's cheating.
I refuse to accept there's anyone out there that has predicted this tournament accurately the whole way. It's... Fair play, though. Fair play. You got all the green up there. I don't know how you managed to do that, because I look at every single game thus far. Even the ones that go the way you expect them to, in terms of like who wins, it's still like either way closer than you would think, or there's just some insanely different things about them, like Shanji taking out the KO and having the best KO map I've ever seen. Yeah. You know, it's just, you just cannot predict some of these things.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think it's been an exciting tournament, and I think there's going to be so much more to come going forward. So I think that's going to be very enjoyable. Of course, still currently stuck in the tech issue, so it's not great. Hopefully we'll get out of this one soon, but really, okay, if I had to put you on the spot, if you were going to bet your hair on it, who's winning this map?
Oh, hold on now.
I'm not saying you are, but if you had to.
Yeah, see, it's a dangerous concept, because I know you. I know what this changes to. I mean, look, with the way that Liquid are playing right now, I'm going to swing with them.
Okay, so Mitch's hair is on Liquid.
No. It would be if I was out of my mind. Who's your hair on? You know what, though? We should do a reverse. One day we should actually do that. Not right now, but we could potentially... So I could shave my head and you would have to wear a wig. But like,
okay, wearing a wig is fine. As long as it's not a wig of your hair.
No.
I'm okay with that, because
it's not a practical jokers, all right? Although, I mean, you'll pull off a Mirror cosplay, but I'll say I'd love to see just a wig that's like glued on. You know, you got to wear it for a month.
A month.
A month.
Okay. Well, luckily, since this conversation has gone down the pan, we're going to take a little bit of a break to try and fix the tech issue. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Verizon is going ultra with 5G ultra wideband in many more cities, so you can do more. Mindy, with up to 10 times faster speeds, she can download a movie in minutes or a song in seconds.
Yep.
Okay, now let's work off-site. Public Wi-Fi? No thanks. 5G ultra wideband is faster and safer, and so powerful that it's not just for phones. Hello, 5G home and business internet. It's time to go ultra with Verizon, America's most reliable 5G network, so you can do more.
Well, it looks like we're ready to get right back on into the action. The coach's monitor has been fixed. It's back up and running, and the teams are eager to kick things off. As you can see, the timer counting down to 0. Team Liquid will be mounting a pretty tough defense. They've got a lot of weaknesses, namely the Marshals in play. We'll see what they can do on range. They've already been discounted.
That's the thing. Both teams managing to hit the 0 point straight off the bat means that, well, for the defenders, they can basically gamble stack into A, at least in the early stage of the round. That flash has not quite worked out, though. Trying to pop Blink out, and instead, well, he's kind of jiggle peeked it and spotted that there's not really anything there, tries to fake out the shadow step to almost bait that there's somebody a little bit closer, or at least in towards the cubby. Instead, though, Yumpy now starts to reaggress elsewhere.
Well, holding this kind of control, as I said, the mid plays with the Marshal, always going to be something that you look for. Yumpy spotting one outside of B-Con. They're going to be droning that out too, and that will confirm there's only the one player here. They're not 100% sure on that, but now that they've spotted some players outside A, I'm surprised the rotations aren't coming in that little bit faster. Louder's still going to have an easy enough time in getting in towards the site. You got to look over to Link, though. Sat in the back of Jen. He's going to TP over underneath.
Okay.
Yumpy's being dropped. This is okay, though, for Link's control. He can still take this duel, but they're ready. They're clearing it. Well handled.
Sassy managing to find that tag with the dart was so important. I feel like it could have completely gone wrong otherwise. Navira desperately trying to get something with the Marshals, but really isn't looking great. Of course, saving here, not really having any value for Liquid. So they're going to try and maybe relocate, try and drop a couple of players on the way out, fake the steps to almost bait that some of these positions are clear, and just watching to try and make sure that there isn't an easy way out for Loud. But thus far, looking like a very good round for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if they manage to get 2 kills on the fadeaway, it's not going to be the end of the world for Loud. They're in a pretty decent spot. I like the fact that, for a split second there, we saw one of the players, I think it was Sadek, stare at the door. He thought about shooting it, but decided against it. And Loud are just going to allow them to go down to the spike. There's no point in giving away orbs, I suppose.
Yeah. Good round as well for Loud, especially breaking back. I said it would be important that they win this one, but to win it in a flawless fashion as well, that's about as good as it gets. Not giving anything up to their opposition, not really letting things slip. And well, with such an aggressive take as well. I think the main thing was just that dart coming through from Sassy to make sure that Yumpy wasn't just getting right up in the face of them with a shorty.
Yeah, it's really important. We've seen the impact that that weapon can have. Like on those weak buy rounds, and especially if you've got someone like a Jet who can potentially take a shot, close in the distance on you, or use it to get back and reset later on. Loud successfully securing that round. They got their economy bolstered down as well. Yumpy, of course, goes out wide on...
Didn't even have the dash.
No, didn't need it.
That's the thing. You see that player get hit by a 0 point, you're like, well, he's going to stop pushing because it would be ridiculous to just keep going there where he's got no possibility of an escape. Well, welcome to Yumpy's world.
How dare you, Scream? How dare you? He's playing a judge on this round, tucked in this corner the entire time. There's 2 players coming towards him. I'm already angry for Loud on their behalf. That flash is good, but he's spraying away. Damage done, but not enough. Yumpy struggles to even get out of there, hit by the paranoia on the way back. He's resetting. He's going to have to go huge here with Link by his side.
Oh, he doesn't even know that they're close.
Les was really by his side.
Yeah, right next to him. Also has the Nano Swarm to delay any sort of push through, and Navira's going to have to respect that. They will get themselves an afterplant.
Spike planted.
You see the temptation to try and get aggressive through the edge of that smoke, but at least for now, just having to try and sit back, and in a similar situation to the last round. In fact, he's even going to leave it just for a little bit later, try and deny them that extra space for just that bit longer. And they're almost reliant here on Soulcast to try and get that little bit of extra space.
There's the turret, already getting contact. They know that the retake is underway. Shock dart ready for Soulcast, weapon back out. He lined up, but he wasn't able to get the shots off. Well performed by Sassy. 2-2 we go. And for Loud, that's a pretty strong win for them. They're going to be up against a weak economy here, and that should be the lead in their hands.
Yeah, I don't think you can expect too much. I would assume that there's going to be at least an attempt to try and get an orb for Yumpy in this scenario. Blade Storm could definitely make the difference, but it's the fact that Les managed to get so far without anybody actually spotting him. Like, that was basically the round over at that point, because he only just to take down both players on the A site. They have a lot in terms of the afterplant utility, so yeah, a tough spot for them to be in. And as I said, now it's a real chance for Loud to sort of build into this first half.
An opportunity, indeed. Another tech pause, though, called through. Here, we're going to have a little bit of a breather for them. And I'm sure over on the side of Liquid, they'll take that in their stride. They're coming into this with a couple of pistols. And often this is where you see Team Liquid call for those tactical pauses and move about discussing how they want to move into the round. I'm seeing the coaches having some words as well. Actually, sorry, I'm seeing here Team Liquid called this timeout, so it has transitioned over to a tactical indeed. So just as Just as I was saying, Liquid, they often do call their pauses here, and no surprise of doing it again.
Yeah, I'm curious what they'll be talking about in this sort of round. Like, maybe just talking about what they can find out for the next one. Like, where if they can maybe put some pressure on. And again, as said, I wouldn't mind them seeing them challenge for a little bit of orb control, because if Yumpy can get his ult, that would be huge. The thing is, this is something that Loud will be desperately aware of, and also both the orbs on this map can be fairly difficult to get. And with him currently being sat over on the A side of the map, I think it would be a little bit difficult for him to actually get anything done. And with a shorty in hand, maybe he's just going to try and recreate what was done by Scream.
Yeah, I think the reality is, for someone like Yumpy, he is the kind of guy that's going to want to shorty you, dash backwards, pop out his Blade Storm, and then try to ace the round, you know? He can have those kind of pop-offs. It's definitely possible. And we're jumping right back on into the game. We'll see exactly what Team Liquid have planned for as the shorty still in hand for Yumpy. And Loud seemed to be playing the default here, and they were very, very strong whenever it came to just pumping the brakes and playing against these anti-ecos when it was on Icebox. But here on Ascent, it's a lot more difficult to close in that space efficiently without giving them opportunities. I mean, we already saw in the pistol round how many different nasty setups you can have with someone like Yumpy, trading out, you know, peeking back and forth, and Link hiding in the corner. You imagine when someone's got a shorty, things can get even wilder. And the rest of the team having sheriffs, you know, that's a pretty threatening round even still. It's anything but free against Liquid.
Managed to avoid the dart early. And they know that Soulcast is playing from this position because they've seen at least a lot of the utility. Managing to fall back to the side, but with the drone tagging him up as well, it becomes a problem. Scream manages to get him behind, but no shots found. Yumpy trying to hit a time. What? He gets it from there? That player must have been so desperately low for anything to come through. Navira's found one. Scream picks up a rifle, but gets nothing from it. However, Navira is still here. The jump through will make him miss his shot. But Yumpy's still looking to come in from behind. I don't feel like there's any way he should be able to get a kill from here.
What?
But he's just doing damage to Aspas through the smoke.
Are you all right, Yumpy? Someone check on this guy. Still got his Blade Storm, but he's picked up a rifle now. Link is able to take Pancata. This is winnable. They dealt with Yumpy at least, and Link left down to 5 HP should be easily dealt with. Still Shock Darts online as well. And I like that he's just waiting. You know, if you run into that side, you're dead 100%. Containing and taking them down or saving the weapon, probably the two best options. I don't think he noticed the barrel there. If it was sticking out, it was only by a very small amount.
It looks at this point that either it's a rifle save or much more likely he's going to try and lock them in. They've already managed to get themselves 3 kills in this round. Anything more would be a huge amount of cost. Another coming up through, and Sassy now desperately low as well. Link does incredibly well. All players go down, and well, he doesn't quite manage to escape with the rifle, but that's not really much of a problem for Liquid, as they're going to have a buy into the next round.
I mean, they knew coming into that it was going to be a round they didn't do a whole bunch in most of the time, so the damage that they got out with, they've got to be over the moon. This was a wall bang. That was a wall bang kill, by the way.
What? That player must have had like 0.5 HP. Like, I don't even know how he manages to get that kill, but hey, he'll take it. He's now got a Blade Storm as well to play with and an Operator going into this round, so the game's about to change a little bit as there is no fear. The Yumpy trying to get aggressive. Being tagged up, though, can't really take the risk of really fighting this, although because he'll have his dash back in a second, he's still playing fairly aggro, and with the one-way, they haven't actually pushed through the space yet.
You've already seen the willingness of Yumpy to push up when that dash is not online. He is not afraid to take some duels without the escape mechanism. But now that he's got it back online, he's right back swinging into that corner. Here comes the drone. He's avoided it to start with and tried to take another peek. You see what I mean? This guy, he just won't stop. Here's the flash through, though. That's big damage now. Yumpy is down, but Link's traded.
And the thing is, they almost have to try and hold on to this position. A core reloading. Aspas goes through. Another dropped by that Hunter's Fury, and Scream is the defender left on this side. Navira is alongside him. It comes down to just Scream, but Les is there with a quick couple of trades. It will be a 4th onto the board now for Loud, and, well, Liquid are going to have to go back to what will mostly be pistols, although Navira's fought straight in with a rifle. Okay, he sells it. He sells it. It's fine.
Yeah. I look at that last round. So much utility coming out of Loud, connecting. You've got the Hunter's Fury combined with the push on site, but for me, it's less. He comes through the doorway, he gets blinded by the flash that came over from Scream, but I think he turned at just the right time, minimized the duration of the blind, and he was able to then take them down with 2 quick kills, very much saving the round, and I don't think he should have been able to do that. Oh, okay. Bladestorm taken away for a moment.
They'll just wait it out. The information has some value to it, but ultimately it's not going to do much else. Still some pretty powerful ults online. Yumpy's the main one I'm looking at, and he's going to go wall. He's been spotted by the turret, though. So they have this information, but he might actually hear some of the footsteps of their rotating around. Look at the instant movement. Straight away, some of the players of Liquid start running back towards that B site. You have Navira already in position. Rotation as well from Soulcast. Scream now making a move. And because they haven't gone back in the other direction, all the information is there for Liquid to just stack up this site.
This is disgusting. The turret was watching it, but it couldn't actually see him from spawn. They knew that he ran down mid, but they suspected surely he wouldn't just continue running forward. That's a great nade through. Aspis has no support because of the fragment, and then a nanoswarm goes down, but Scream is taken out. Good kill to start with, left with a frenzy though. And now, oh, they haven't cleared the corner. Solka's only good for 1, but tags up a few more. Makes it easier for Navera, who's dodging those darts on the site. The reload in play, and Aspis goes down. They know that Link is here, and he won't be able to find them. But the shot from Yampy equalizes. 1 to the body, all that's needed. Pancada desperately low, and time! He had to go for the plant, and Yumpy, he strikes at just the right time. That's 3 rounds for Team Liquid. A much closer round than they would have liked, but that'll put them right back on the map.
It's one of those infuriating things for Loud where you play as a group because you're up against one of those like anti-eco rounds. Like you're going together, but because of that, you don't have that sort of net that you normally have to catch players getting aggressive. And because of that, Yumpy gives them all the information. They have those bait and switch plays, and then it becomes scrappy. And when it gets scrappy, you kind of expect Team Liquid to come out on top. That's what they're incredibly good at. And obviously, when you have Yumpy on a Bladestorm, it just makes it that bit easier.
I mean, we have to be realistic. You come in with pistols and a Bladestorm, you're expecting a couple of kills, sure, here and there, but for the most part, you never really expect Loud to run into that much of a problem. And I guess, yeah, the slow pace that has very much been what we complimented before, it's just that tiny bit of information they gave away. They see the alarm bot already here. Oh, maybe they don't. They've destroyed it either way. This is I mean, risky enough round. There's a lot of cash on the line. They've got an ultimate to work with as well in the form of the lockdown, but they won't really be able to do much with it when you've got a Hunter's Fury on the other side and Navera's own lockdown.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the chances are Solkas is just going to hold on to this ult for that exact counter, especially with the way the last couple of rounds have been going. Again, I'm going to try and find out information. They actually do go for the lockdown. Maybe just trying to get him to try and bait out that ultimate, but it means that they'll get that space elsewhere because he's no longer watching onto that cross. It leaves Navira completely isolated within the site, and the entry is there.
So they've got that one secure. Solkas clearing out inside the smoke as they look to mount this retake quite quickly by the looks of things. Yumpy's right in. Getting all the corners cleared, but is he ready for main? That's ridiculous. Solkas with a quick double. And all of a sudden, Team Liquid are actually in the lead. But they still have to break into this site, get past both of those choke points. There's still utility up for less as well. He's got nanoswarms waiting on the stairs. There's the paranoia. That's going to prompt the nanoswarm pop. And now the players coming out of the catwalk are being stared at. Not being taken down all too easily, though, but the trades are good for Loud for now. Time on their side, and they get all the kills from Boathouse.
Yeah, really solid hold, really solid crossfire, and just having that late couple of pieces of utility was enough to take them through the round. And I actually quite like that. I don't know if that was intentionally just to bait out that ult, but the fact that they use it to then push. Like, okay, we know that that player is busy. He can't really do anything in the moments he's destroying it, so then they use it to pressure Navira. The best thing about that as well is he was the player with the lockdown. So then they don't have that anymore for the retake. So they almost kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get the site for free. Worked out wonderfully. And you have to remember, if Solkas is then on the site, he's in his ult while they're pushing as well. So either way, you're likely to be able to take him down.
So many of these pieces for Team Liquid removed to start things out. And you know, you look at the lockdown for Navera, it's probably not going to be a feature of this round. Not when you've got pistols to play with. They would need something exceptional to prompt that sort of a reaction. Scream going down right away. Well, that's definitely not the start that they wanted. Okay! Solkus and Yumpy on the quick double, and all of a sudden this is again very winnable. And Liquid just cannot give away a clean round.
Back here and there, it's not quite managing to kill anyone off. At least doing damage. He's going to try and give himself a one-way, and they've only just got the plant down. They know where this other man is. Sassy into that clutch situation, but Yumpy lands the headshot. Already, I think he's trying to shout through the walls to the other team. This man is on fire at the moment. And well, they're going to take another round based off of those pistols.
That is absolutely ridiculous. We came in saying a lockdown's unlikely to be used because why throw it away for a round you're not going to win. And it comes down to Solkus spraying down with the Sheriff from, I think, was it Heaven? Yes, from Heaven. Look at this. Look at that. And it was the reveal that I don't think it even revealed Aspis. I think it was a different player who got revealed and he spammed at them and ended up getting Aspis. Yumpy with just some incredible shots on the Guardian, catching players through the smoke as they come, breaking the door, following up onto Les, and then closing out with Sassy. This guy is on fire, and like we said, a confident Liquid is a dangerous thing. There's no such thing as a free round against these guys. They are always going to be coming in with pistols, with the ultimates that they have as well, the likes of your Blade Storms. This is scary.
Yeah, and the fact is, the actual initial entries into the site, like the pop flash, out from Sadek to garner that extra space, everything went well. You saw the dash in as well from Aspas, just basically pulling everybody to look towards him, and up until that point, everything was going great, but you can never underestimate the clutch factor of this Team Liquid squad, and unfortunately in this scenario, it hasn't quite worked out. I think as well, like, at the moment, it seems both of the KOs are having a bit of a troublesome time. Like, Sadek's definitely had his moments with the flashes, as said, but realistically, a lot of it has just been those 0 points trying to delay utility and then them being caught out because of it. So 5-4, anyone's game still, but realistically, at least for this round, you'd think it's going to be the driver's seat for Liquid.
So I'll tell you the thing that always I looked at when Scream is playing someone who can be pitched as a support in some elements. Now, the reason I like him on KO is because you have so much individual potential there, like we saw from Shanji playing inside the smokes, entering for yourself. But a lot of the time here, his utility is used around his team, and that's a bit of a problem for me in putting Scream in a spot where he even has to think about that. It's like, you want him to just be able to duel and take fights, but that's where, you know, looking at a roster, it's weird to think that, but then you see Yumpy, you see Nevera, and it's like, okay, well, there is just so much power on this team that it's not Scream go kill. He's up in their faces. Is he got past the turret. He smoked the turret with a cloudburst, I guess, and then walked past it. He's now sneaking behind them, and they have no idea.
Yeah, so much space. It means that the rest of the players can look to try and rotate and put more support onto A because, well, they know that no one's in the direction of B unless they're going to try and go for a full team mid-take, which they are covering for.
And you know that Killjoy is close because that turret's still online. She's not in main. She's not sitting towards the spawn. So now that it's being taken back, this is where Yumpy's going to start to move forward. He knows that player is in towards middle. He's calmed that over. It's why you see Scream being quite careful about the market play. And eventually he's got to make a move. Now moving up through middle. Does he check his left as he goes? No. So look at Les. Les is just snuck all the way behind them.
They've got problems. They've got big problems. Link is under serious pressure as Aspas manages to take him down, and this flank coming through, it might not even be needed because Aspas has just started killing everyone. Les will come in at the last second, and now Yumpy left in a 1v4 with the operator. Spike will be dropped. He's going to hide within his smoke. He actually gets the headshot onto Sassy, making this one possible once again. Looking for the peak, walks into the nano swarm, caught by the turret, shouldn't stand a chance, and thankfully Les will put him down before anything can get any worse.
That was ridiculous. This guy in a shorty, like he's wall banging people with shorties. He's jumping into 3 guys looking at him, getting a kill, getting out of there. I mean, it's exactly, it was one of the things I said, right? When he's got a shorty, he'll be willing to go at you, take the kill, and dash backwards Blade Storm out. This time, you know, not the Blade Storm pop, but everything else connecting.
It's a really big round from Aspas, though. Like, the pace of their take into that site was slow, but I think because of what you said about that lurk being there so late, the read was actually a little bit wrong. Like, you could have had the rest of the players sort of stacking things up, but his entries just basically completely cleared out the remainder of A, and they were able to hold in the after one. Now, it's a little bit sketchy again of a vibe, but Yumpy just, see you later, Sassy. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's the Blade Storm saved up for this moment, and of course, it finds value right away. You know, the previous round, Les also, when he pulled that turret back, I think that was him telling the other team, you can rotate now. So he could get that timing on the flank. It was really, really smart play from him. Let's see what they can do to get Yumpy out of this position. No, we've already seen him updraft over the wall. Now he's tucked close. He knows there's going to be players around here. And they're going to give up market control, let the wall some through.
The second they break this, he's going to start coming in from behind. The timing's so good, and even more blind. He manages to connect another knife, even having a rifle to try and spray through. He goes down. The Soulcast, in the meantime, has managed to make it through that smoke. The pop flash out from his teammate is almost trying to bait that maybe he isn't here as Les wraps around that corner. It's not pretty, but he'll get the job done. Bringing things back close, but then Scream just straight through it will close out another 30 seconds left for Pancada to make a move. He could teleport, but look at where the remaining Liquid players are. They're waiting in case he tries this.
I know full well that this is a possibility. And there's the teleport coming out of the other Omen. Link, knowing his teammate's actually in position, 10 seconds left. Where does Pancada go? He's going to actually try to plant it, fake it out, pull them into the open. There they are, running in! Ooh. What a good attempt by Pancada. Almost a disaster for Liquid. But they will get their 5th round on the board, now looking to equalize. And Tom, I mean, the people at home were watching a replay, but I'll tell you what I'm looking at. 5 ultimates online for Loud coming into this final round.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where if you don't win it, you've done something desperately wrong. Like, either that or Liquid will have to do something insane. Now, they do have some counters of their own. Soulcast is 1 away from managing to get himself a Hunter's Fury as well, so... The only thing really missing is the Blade Storm. I am kind of disgusted by the fact that Yumpy currently has a judge. Oh, where is he going?
Deep flash, B cleared. They've got all the control. There's a recon outside B as well. They know that it's clear. Now they're stacked up on A. We're like 3 seconds, 4 seconds into the round by the time Liquid are like, yep, it's A 100%. We can rotate over. And now they're stacked in position. Now things have to slow down because Loud have pumped the brakes again. They're not looking to just run in, thankfully. And they see, well, they have always been cautious of Wine. We've seen every round they've cleared it.
You should run.
They're pinging the spawn. They're so scared of the position that he could be in. Link is in a bit of trouble though, because I feel like they've almost used this just to try and stop him. Luckily, his teammate has managed to garner that orb and can deny it. Still just sat here in this corner. They've also utilized that null command just to try and slow them that little bit more. The only real issue here is if they don't manage to clear Link.
They have always cleared Wine when they've gone towards this position. You have to hope they will again, but Pancada's gone down before. That can happen! No. Link is still alive! That is absolutely unreasonable. He'll eventually go down, but Nevera's cleaning up the rest. A clean conclusion to this half. Team Liquid, 6-6.
That was definitely one of the weirdest halves of Valorant I've ever seen. I feel like the team that should have won the round has failed to do so almost every single time.
Yep.
Luckily, we have a fantastic desk, and Kakuka's going to explain everything that just happened in perfect detail.
Oh.
The stage is yours.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of funny that we see Zadhag and Scream at the bottom, because I think it sums up what we are seeing, and is that they have to play passive, they have to play for the team. Information is key. When Loud is playing slower and actually countering where Yampe is playing, because Yampe is just, you know, having the time of his life. If they actually manage to counter him and they use all that utility, the round is viable, and those executes on A actually prove that. But I am just extremely surprised of how close these rounds are, how this man can get kills with the shorty in that distance.
My shorty does not do that.
No, mine neither.
I think Bala
My
sometimes
operator
does.
doesn't do that.
No, I don't use a shorty.
Your shorty sometimes does do
I
that.
never use, but it's crazy because I might pick it up now. He's using it in a unique way too. It's not like the Zeta Division players, for example, who are using it for kills. He's using it for chip damage in some cases, which is insane. The times he's just spraying it through a smoke. Yeah, Yampi's been fantastic. I think one of the amazing things too is he's really aggressive on these entry frags on the defensive side, and that's going to keep up on the attack, of course. But he's also able to get Sassy down a lot of these instances, and that's not something that anybody has been able to do.
Also, I love the Roger Federer cosplay that he's brought on, because we know Yumpy's a huge fan of Roger, and I think it's starting to show. He plays beautifully under pressure, Kakuka.
It's just beautiful what we're seeing from both the teams. The executes coming in from Loud. Like, every single round has been so explosive, so enjoyable to watch. Really looking forward to what's going to happen on the different half. We know the Team Liquid loves an overtime here. Yeah, this is... Why does
does not do that.
Headshot, just why? I'm really looking forward to
He
next
knows
half.
he's low.
Liquid is 5 out of 5 on pistol rounds. Let's see if they go for, you know, the full circle. But I honestly do not know what to expect.
Yeah, that's massive. 5 for 5. And it's so huge right now for Loud to keep themselves in this game. The other thing, too, that's keeping him in this game is a lot of thrifty rounds. And you mentioned the ecos that they've been known for in scrims. Dude, Team Liquid is doing the same thing. This is such a scrappy game, and I think it's going to be won by those types of rounds.
The thing is that Liquid loves chaos. We know that. And of course, Brazilia's teams as well, because individually they're so gifted. I love this combo, and I'm loving this match.
Oh, yes or no, guys? I need one word from you.
Overtime.
6 rounds. Yeah,
Yes.
6 rounds for Loud. Enough?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to hand this back to Mitch and Tombiz.
Thomas.
Well, Tombiz Bismar, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear.
Normally it's the other way
Don't
around,
overthink
like you
it.
put
That's
my
my job.
thing in the middle, because otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. But hey, we'll take
That's
it. We'll
fine.
take it. I get my name mentioned
Yeah.
multiple times.
She knows your name now. It's a pretty big.
That's good.
Pretty big win.
Look at this pace. No surprise that Yumpy's trying to get a little bit cheeky. In fact, the whole team's gone into the side, but they haven't checked the corner. It just gives a freebie. This man in pistol round is just dominating. 4 kills in the last one. Looking to try and do the same again, but is there going to be any response? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, well, Navera has 7 health left, so I'm going to go ahead and guess he's not going to clutch this in a 1v5. But then again, you know, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Let's see how this one goes down.
He has more time than Pancada did.
Yeah.
Less health. Worse gun.
Spike down.
Yeah. And
There's a turret up. That can kill him in 1.
a good old Timmy. Good old Timmy.
Good old Timmy, yeah.
I know that hurts Pansy every time I say that. Because their one's called Tommy, but we have different turrets for each game, you know? There we go. Les is going to close out the Prime Gaming Flawless. A big round for Loud to start off with. And going onto the defensive side, it can be pretty difficult. Like, a lot of the time, I feel like Liquid are bailed out by the shenanigans of Yumpy on this attacking side. Like, some of the rounds where he's able to just go around on the flank and wrap around it. It's something I don't know if Loud are going to allow him to do. So, and off to such a good start. As said, I was wondering if they could mentally reset going into this one. It definitely looks like they have.
Oh, you know, it's almost poetic. They end up going down 3 players falling to an omen hit in a corner. Deja vu.
It's revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing missing was that clutch attempt at the end. Now for Loud, they come into this round stacked up. They've even got a bulldog on Pancada thanks to all those kills. You know, we might not compliment the ultimate from the shadows all that much, but
They showed Navera because Navera would be the one on the lurk. Like, Yumpy falls back so that realistically you're like, okay, Navera's there. That tells us nothing. And then Yumpy goes back for the swing. Just trying to bait out a few little pieces of information that could sell a full setup. And now they're actually looking to try and just double back to a full push in towards A. The problem is a recon has gone out that has told them there's no longer anyone in B main. So instantly Loud start to stack up on this A side.
they've certainly guessed on the right side. The Bulldogs here too, lots of utility, 40 seconds left on the clock, and at this point, Loud are really starting to suspect that this is the play coming through. You got a Paranoia held and ready to pop out, but look at Team Liquid on the way back over towards the B side, or at least on the way back to middle for a moment. With 30 seconds left, they're gonna have to make a call. And by the looks of it, they're gonna move towards this A site. And again, that Killjoy utility and play on short, gonna be a huge problem for them getting in.
Double turrets going down. Navera does manage one entry, but Pancada is here again. However, the trade is back. There's a possibility for a plant here. Now, there's still the rest of the players rotating in, but this round was looking like a clean one, and now it's dangerous.
It absolutely is. A Marshall on Yumpy set down towards long. Yeah, this is a round that they can win. If it goes awry, he's already picked off one. Out for more, and the tag on the way. Sassy solo. The shove through the wall, more than enough. And a round answered back by Team Liquid. That is ridiculous, the second round victory.
What'd I tell you? Attacker side, Yumpy, Marshall. It's something that shouldn't be allowed, it's something that teams need to prepare for, and it's ultimately something that probably shouldn't work. But it does. And, well, again, they were walking into this site with like 12 seconds left, managed to find both the entries, get an execution, and an afterblock.
Wow.
I can see why people want to Barla to have his hair rather than mine.
Fantastic attempt at the end by Yumpy as well. Yeah, he really hammered that one home. I don't think they've rehearsed that one all too many times.
They'll get it right for the stage.
Yeah, exactly. That's the prac room debuff.
Wow, it's just destroyed any momentum that Loud would have had. Like, you've lost to a minute investment. Weaponry's now booming. There was still the extra finances as well on the other side that they were basically saving to go into this round with. And on the other side, you got basically nothing. They're just trying to make sure they can maybe do a little bit of extra damage, but ultimately, not much to be had. It's funny that he spams mid. Unfortunately, it's the wrong side. Because there is a player just sat there.
Well, now two. They look to take a little bit of control, but Loud couldn't see anything on middle. They'll reset back, and they have to make a gamble. KO Knife goes down towards B, but they only spot one with theirs. No one else stacked up, so they're going to gamble towards this A site yet again. Good call by the Brazilian side. Let's see what Liquid have up their sleeve. They have better weapons to work with, but as we've seen time and time again, that is not a deciding factor in this game. Aspis does damn well to get one.
He's like a magician. Just came out of the smoke. He's already gone before you even realize he's there. Again, this round's all about damage for them. You can see an awfully long rotation coming through the other side. Still an alarm bot there to stop Sadak from finding out anything. Even just a couple of kills here would be a great attempt. Pop flash, also going to throw the 0 point in just to give that extra little bit of information. Maybe even deny any recon that could be coming up on the other side, and Scream just waiting aggressively to try and finish off these remaining players. He might actually get caught here. A little bit aggressive. I thought he got the last one, but it wasn't. It was Soulcast backing him up. And while Sadak needs to basically just wait for the spike and fall.
Yeah, you want to go down to that. I mean, for him right now, the opponents that he's up against, it's just huge value in ultimates on their side. But if he can draw a player, great. Damage done. Weapon retrieved is only a Spectre, so he's right on into that.
Yeah, it's worth it. An extra kill. Don't allow that economy to go wild, because as I said, when you win a round where you've invested nothing, there is still a hell of a lot of credits available at this time for Liquid, so any sort of damage you can do on that side is going to be huge. And the fact is, the purchase coming up for Loud still has holes in it. Like, you've got Aspas having to go for a glass cannon operator. You've also got Sassy dropping down his shields just to make sure he has all his utility, quite an expensive kit, and I believe he still has a shock dart missing, so it's not perfect from Loud, but it's a round that they desperately need to win, because again, Team Liquid's economy could go out of control here.
Aspis managed to avoid that knife, so he can go aggressive. Dash on out, 65 HP, but he'll make it around the corner. It's a good start. The brakes pumped again. Team Liquid slowly moving up through short, and here's the contact about to happen with Sadak.
Oh, they've even got themselves to dash straight through. This is the aggression, but actually, Sadak just about manages to win that duel. Keeping himself on 35 HP, the rest of the team actually start to rotate over to support. There's not a whole lot to play with here at the moment for Liquid. Needing to try and find another kill, and Sadak's position is a bit of a peculiar one. They'll spot the flash, but his flash is slightly better. Kills off Navira for it, still just surviving in this corner, even knows the Scream is around this spot. And with the crossfire in play, he can just sit pretty in this corner.
Oh, the timing there. The flash comes out, but it turns out Scream gonna survive that. 2v4. Paranoia is perfect, and although Scream's able to see Sassy, the kill goes the other way. That Spike, last man standing. Players all around him. I mean, it's hugely stacked up here towards the A site. They know exactly where he is, and they'll drop him right away. Well handled by Loud. That's another round on the board, and they've now equalized up this scoreline. We're going to stay neck and neck.
Yeah, I thought for a second he might have managed to slip the net, but it's not quite to be. And as said, there's still plenty of finances available for Liquid to try and make a play in this sort of round. I feel like, again, this is more evidence of just how solid Sadak is with those flashes. And I think especially on this defensive side, a lot easier for you to be a little bit cheeky with that. Like, if you're going in for setups, a lot of the time you want to try and throw something for someone else. If you have these defensive positions, well, his flashes were perfect to catch players off guard and isolate some individual duels. Back to level pegging though again. This time there's even some shields for Aspas, and lightning fast Yumpy can't even react to that one.
I mean, the cloud burst was down, right? He just fires on through, takes the kill, and opens it up nicely. At this point, you know, it's going to be hard for Liquid to even entry towards sites. You've got to cancel out the utility or clear it out on your way.
Null command?
Null command is definitely something that could help them out with that, right? There it is. Activated already. It won't cost them that much time as they move towards the site. The one nanoswarm that went down, the nade buys them time to get over towards the alley. And they've made it down towards the site. This is going to be difficult for Les to hold on to control. And in fact, he just gives it up. He's going to hold with his team and play the retake.
They managed to lock them into position. Les with the spam. Trying to find something here. Null command now on the other side, and all players locked into the site. Oh, I say that, Scream actually gets a little bit more aggressive. They're opting to try and fight some of these angles, not allow them into position, but Sadak's there, instantly finding a trade. Pancata with another, just going back and forth, and all left on to Soulcast, and he can't quite finish it off. Les will take them another round, and 9th onto the board, and an incredibly costly one. I assume he's going to go back and try and just save that operator after halving the spike, and keep that economy nice and strong.
Really solid round out of Loud. I mean, they dealt with that initial push. They dealt with the initial push really well. You know, allowing them to just take all the control, not overcommitting, and it was Les who was in that danger spot that decided to give up the site, not fight for it, that comes out to save the round as the last man alive. Safe, responsible play, and that is just, it's been so nice to watch this team play because, like we said, their anti-ecos seem to be on point, and I imagine against the majority of teams, their defaults would be working a lot better, but it is just the flashy individual nature of some of these rounds for Team Liquid where Yumpy can just jump through a smoke with a shorty. Like, some of the plays that they're meeting here, they will not have met before because no one in the world plays like Team Liquid.
But the other thing as well is, like, again, the way that they actually set up into that round, having a 5v4 advantage, locking all the players into the side. Like, there was no flank, there was nobody in behind. Those sort of rounds realistically shouldn't be that close, but it's just the fact that Liquid managed to almost punch out of that position and catch them off guard a little bit. The interesting thing as well here is, although theoretically this looks like it's good, like some sort of eco round, because you're like, okay, they've just lost a close, or yeah, they've just had a close round and then they've lost one right off the back of it. Because of that, some really powerful ultimates have actually built up for the side of Liquid. Navira actually has enough still to actually buy a rifle into this round, and you've got the Blade Storm, which we've already seen individually win rounds for them. So Loud don't really get that much of a breather. And bear in mind, again, because they only have one player, their economy is still close to being reset. So it is anything but done just because they managed to clutch out that round.
We're right back into the game after a Team Liquid tactical pause. They've lost the lead here, giving it over to the defensive side of Loud. And sitting down on the defense, having that little bit of comfort, I suppose, is normally fantastic. But up against a team like Liquid, as we've already seen, things have been on pretty equal footing the entirety of the way.
Look at the pace. Just looking to try and take that control, but the 0-point counter means that Yumpy can't really get away with what he wanted to. We want a fast-paced take, going to be denied. Or say he's going to be denied. He's actually trying to spike through it. An absolute madman. He's just dropped the spike in. Are they going to try and use the ultimate potentially to grab it back and then walk into the site?
Yes, that does very much appear to be the plan. An audacious play. As a TP to the back of B site, they realize that this is a possibility. Even with the spike under their control, Loud know what they're up against. Team Liquid still need to fight for control of the site before they attempt it, and there goes Link. He's down. Spike's on the other side of the map. That's the round over. See what damage they can get done. And it is practically nothing. A very well-handled round again by Loud, and they react perfectly to every step that Liquid are making. I think this is honestly the display on their side of how they adjust to the conditioning of Liquid is just fantastic.
I'd love to know if that was actually a plan, though, for him to run in and die with the spike, because it seems so unbelievably stupid when you watch him do it, but then it's like, oh, okay, well, see, they're now faking to go in the other direction and grab the spike, because it's not the most common thing for people to do.
No, not at all, but the reality is when Yumpy's got his Blade Storm, I'd say 50% of the time he gets that site for himself.
Probably.
So it's like, yeah, go in, see if you can win the round yourself, and if you lose, we'll still have another option to recover it and probably drag the rotations to A anyways. I like it, and if Loud are a little bit too knee-jerky and they overreact to that, they might have ended up in a much worse position.
Aspas has taken so much control. It just gives them the ability to almost lock down other areas by the fact that he's so deep within B. You then had initial aggression as well over into A, just to try and spot. The only real danger is just that control that's currently being taken by Yumpy, almost on that free roam position just to try and spot anyone out. But the information that's there is so little. Nice shot from Yumpy, and this leaves a real opening in towards that B site. But they're almost trying to pull those rotations away, and Sassy will shut him down before he can be a thorn in their side.
They're going to pop the smoke over towards middle, trying to fake it out, but here comes the ultimate into play. Lockdown in effect on the A site. Nano Swarm a little early there. Oh, it's because the knife was coming through. Pancata catches Scream and makes it out just about. At this point, 4v3, they can happily play the retake, and if Les can get a kill, they'll even have a lockdown.
Close, but doesn't look like he's actually going to connect anything. Sassy didn't use it to break that lockdown, wanted to try and deny them the plant altogether. But again, we see these advantageous after plant positions for Loud. Just having an opportunity to try and break back in, both countering each other. It's not pretty from Les. He had an opportunity to kill off Soulcast, who's just completely stuck in this corner. Navira, though, has managed to find two as they try and sneak their way through the door. He's been caught, and now it's left all onto Link. He's being pincered in. Fantastic from Loud in the retake. A couple of players surviving, and them just 2 away from taking this series.
Yeah, they can match these guys in pound-for-pound fights, and that's something that we don't get to see all too often. Sassy especially has been really impressive during this entire map, entire series, in fact. 11-8 on the board now. Loud are just a few steps away from securing their spot here, moving forward and avoiding that lower bracket for now.
I think that's one of the things that, especially on this attack side, that was my main worry. The fact that Yumpy can just go walkabouts and win you around. I think Loud have corrected themselves very well that if ever he's spotted, they're very quick to shut him down. They don't let him take that space. They don't allow him for these cheeky little plays that we see all the time. And because of that, it's been a lot tougher for Liquid to really get anything done. Again, we see the early 0 point spotting players outside of this B site. And again, we see a different point in the map pressured by Loud, taking control over towards A.
That TP's being heard, though. They now suspect that Link's over in the corner. Nate clears it out. They double check it as well. Here's the flash over, and a great peek follow-up. Sadik with the early duel. That's the man advantage towards Loud.
Yeah, you're starting to see what I meant by the comparison I made earlier. He gets away with so much with these pop flashes. Timing, though. They don't expect Soulcast to be there so soon. And that's just a free kill onto Pancata, an unforced error from the Brazilians. And actually, they fully rotated in the other direction. As now, we start to see this lurk back. The only thing will be if Les can get there in time. However, he does have himself a lockdown. The problem is that's not really going to deny much.
Of course, you got a Hunter's Fury on the other side as well, so until Solkus goes down, that lockdown can't really be a pivotal part of the strategy. It's just going to be countered immediately. Here's the flash coming out up top, Nano Swarm, and that means only one player can get through. Oh, what a shot! I thought he was locked out completely, but he's got some control. Hunter's Fury can't really be used from the position they're in right now, and the reveal sees all of them scream. Still good to grab the kill, though, and the lockdown will be destroyed. Here's the plan for Liquid. And Loud are going to have to retake.
Spike planted.
Don't give this man an angle. Don't give this man a shot. Only one bullet left, but he does have his knives available if he wants to try and switch for them. 2 players caught out in the back. He's just holding and waiting, hoping that they can try and force someone into a position that will give away a kill, but Liquid are not giving him anything, just sitting back. Navira will go down, however. They're going to get tagged up, and Soulcast has got one more. It's left all on to Aspas to try and clutch this out. He's going to spot Scream up close, and Scream will be there to close it. Another round on the board for Liquid. But still, it was very close.
That was a much-needed round, and considering the impact that Aspas was able to have as they move into the site, things could have gotten extremely scary if Les holds on just a second or two longer. The site could have maintained in their control. Look at that. It was 5 seconds left when they destroy that lockdown. You have a Nano Swarm still online, and the game changes completely. You have Aspas through the door or something like that. I mean, there's so many things that could have went badly for them there. Team Liquid have managed to find that. Even still, look at this. They're coming into this round with a Guardian and a Bulldog.
Yeah, the other team have 2 judges. I don't like it.
I think I prefer that.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like I do as well. Especially some of the positions that they're able to play. Like, look where both of them are. So aggressively positioned. The flash gonna give up some information. That's the thing. After already using the 0 point moments ago, just the pop flash actually tells him that there's players around this spot. not wanting to get caught out. Aspas still having an operator as well just enables them to lock down so much map control. And, well, with this deep position for less, you'd expect him to get a kill.
He definitely would, and I think the other aspect is he's got a turret watching. He's got a nano swarm there. He could end up faking out that he's not in this position, but if they drone it out, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Now he can't use any of his utility as they start to push forward, and he's been spotted way too eager on that corner.
Yeah, wanting to catch them as they go through. Again, we've got this fragment just holding off the cross. Aspas trying to find something through, but nothing going forward, and Yumpy just in this corner. It's something they should definitely check, but clearing him might be a little bit difficult. He's not going to budge. He's just going to sit there. Not the best place for a Guardian, but he gets the job done. Looking for a little bit more, just peeking forward. The flash is so good, and the headshot's even better. Leaving just one man standing. Aspas has to try and flee, and Link is watching. Liquid are right back into this one, and now the difference just the one.
This is starting to get a little bit scary for Loud. Wouldn't be surprised to see them take a moment here, sit back and try to reevaluate. They're coming into this round with practically nothing, so the likelihood is Liquid are about to push them over to equalizing. And this late in the game, Tom, you're facing up against not elimination. It is the lower bracket that they'll be going to.
So good. Both players were completely blind.
Gorgeous.
They talk about his pop flashes.
Yeah! Gorgeous stuff. Oh, here we go. We're coming into this round. Loud actually putting a couple of credits on the table. Investing as much as they can, but look what it yields. Still with the Blade Storm online, Aspas can potentially be one of the deciding factors in this round.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yumpy's already gone. As they look to try and build in, they've also hit Link with the 0 point. This is such a dirty position for them to try and clear. Taking their time to make sure they check for wine. Well, no one there, but getting past this man without him getting anything is going to be so incredibly difficult. In fact, just utilizing his smoke for that little bit further. In fact, going to go within it. Manages to dodge the majority of the utility, and while Loud are looking to try and take a leap out of their opposition's book.
Comes the drone, that spotted him out. That's a big problem as they push forward, but he's got teammates here to help him out. A stinger double kill. That's a first for me.
How's that the way they get to map point as well? It seems like both these teams are just excellent at just cheesing through low buy rounds. And while the fact that they managed to just hold that back, get the initial kill of the Blade Storm, and as I said, like just playing through this when you're up against a judge is so difficult to do, even with the tag. And then the support system, the trades are just solid from Loud. One round away for putting themselves into that top 6, continuing in that upper bracket and sending Liquid down to the lowers. Of course, they're the only representation left from South America, but as you can see, they're not one to sort of doubt.
Yeah, these guys are definitely looking to keep their region up there. They'll be moving on to the semifinals up against G2 if they can win this game right here. And they've got 2 chances to get it done. Wisely calling a timeout here. Going to take a moment to step back yet again. Figure out how they want to approach these last 2. A few ultis coming online. Even deciding when you want to throw those into things is going to be important. It's crunch time for Team Liquid, though. They want to keep their spot in the upper bracket. This is where they have to do it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing you have to be careful of. Like, there's still a buy coming up for Liquid. They have a couple of ultimates that definitely could win them the round, or at least a couple close. There isn't also a Hunter's Fury as well, so that lockdown, if they do manage to get it online, would be, it could be pretty impactful. So yeah, I realistically, taking a timeout here, slowing down the game a little bit, making sure that there's not really going to be that opportunity for Liquid to get back into this one. Because again, even if you start to look at the economy that's over on the other side for Loud, sure, 2-3 players probably able to buy, but it would be a little bit sketchy for the last one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Tom, the timeouts come to an end. Loud, gotta stop talking, start acting. It looks like it's going to be towards B main with a push up. See an arrow already ready. Okay, it was a Shock Dart Nanoswarm start. That's an interesting take. You know, it's a little bit of utility thrown away, but that could have given them massive value, something Liquid wouldn't necessarily be ready for. The reaction from Liquid, immediate. They are running up through middle into market. In fact, Yumpy is already essentially on the site, but they're ready for it. And with Aspas finding another on the operator, this is starting to get very scary for Team Liquid. They throw out their Hunter's Fury, a desperation play to try to take someone down, and in the end, it has to be put away. Lynx ran up short, got a sight, but the spike has to rotate over, and that's going to take some time, giving an opportunity for Sadik to get back out there and maintain site control.
Yeah, more importantly, he maintains an advantage. He makes sure that if those players are going into the site, sure, you can have that, but they'll be ready for the retake. Has his null command as well to remove any utility that might be there and leave them with that extra piece of information. Fragment over the top, but he doesn't expect the aggression. Yumpy, however, doesn't manage to win that battle. Soulcast sat in the corner and the flash is coming over the top, given the space. They don't know that there's a late lurk yet, but the spacing could actually work out for them. The clear comes through, it's left all onto one man. Yumpy trying to fight it back, and it's not happening. Loud are going to take themselves through in